Hello and welcome to the Daily Life Uncut Day 36. So today's video, before we get into what we're having on today, I would like to go ahead and state my little business, so to speak, of King of the Nerds last night. So I watched it live on TBS with my wife Amanda, and I must say that I was kind of shocked at the reactions and things that happened during the show, especially going through what Todd has said and what Todd himself put himself into that type of predicament where he, belittled other cast members and basically threw himself as a villain. Now, usually geeks or nerds or freaks or anybody that you like to call us, we always have a code where we don't bully, we don't hurt one another, and for him to do something like that, he basically threw himself to the wolves and basically said that he is not a true geek, nerd, freak, whatever you want to call us. And for that, it just made me feel absolutely horrible as one of them, so to speak. And I'm glad that he got eliminated last night. And just the show itself, the Greek mythology, the questions, stumped me pretty good. I will admit to that. But other than that, the show turned out great. I love what they did with Greek mythology in the show. You have to watch it. Go to tbs.com. /King of the Nerds, and you can watch it live there, full episodes. So it's the way to do it. If you miss it on TV, watch it online. That's basically what this world is coming to. So other than that, we're going to jump right into today's video. And today's video is a collaboration series. Now, today's collaboration is going to be me and Josh Rush from Happy Time Bros. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to do part 1 right here on the Daily Life Uncut, and part 2 is going to be...
Part 2 will be, we actually shot it already, but it was just bad quality, bad everything, so we're going to have to shoot that again. So, it was supposed to be part 1, this was going to be part 2, but now this is part 1, it'll be part 2. It'll be up tomorrow because I have to go somewhere after this video, so it will be up tomorrow, and I'll have to put up a daily vlog anyways for my channel. So there we go.
So elaborate a little bit more on that. So the Daily Life Uncut today is going to be with I'm going to simply put my top 5 villains for Marvel Universe, and he is going to put up
my top 5 villains of DC with an honorable mention of Marvel. He will do an honorable mention of DC. Since we both don't care about the brand, we care about the characters.
And that's a very good, insight. And as well as part 2 will be on his channel, Happy Time Bros. So you can go ahead and go over to Happy Time Bros and right here on YouTube, and you will see my top 5 DC heroes, and you will see his top 5 Marvel heroes with our honorable mentions of either or. So let's get right into it, and I would like to go ahead and start out with a simple fact that today's list is going to start out with Carnage. Now, Carnage is a female Spider-Man villain. She has... Original. She has weird types of powers, and it made for her to be a unique character on this list, as she is one of them one of them more likely to be seen villains in Marvel for their shape-shifting abilities. So she has been able to stand out above all other Spider-Man villains.
I'm going to go from 5 to 1. My number 5 is Killer Croc. Killer Croc got introduced to me in Arkham Asylum, and then I just started watching, videos of him, and there's one comic where he pins down one of the inmates and just rips his head off and starts eating it. So he's very gruesome, and I love, if I think villains, I think villains that just don't give a crap.
And a little extra mention to Killer Croc. Killer Croc originally is like a overpowered Crocodile because he had some mix-up with, I think it's like a neurotoxin, or according to Arkham series, they say that it was Joker's toxin, the Titan formula, that gave him those powers when it got flushed into the sewers where he consumed it. So, according to Arkham mythology. And I would like to go ahead and jump into my next one. Now, I would have to say that a huge Marvel villain for me is Magneto. Now, that might sound a little cliche because a lot of people like Magneto, but I specifically like him for his abilities and the fact that he's like, Quicksilver's father.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Like, it's never 100% confirmed even in the comics. But, they drop enough hints to where you can basically say, okay, well, that's the father. That's the dad. So, we'll not get into that today. His ability to maneuver metal and shift and stuff like that, it's always played to his best. And for him and having to go up against Wolverine and all of the X-Men and stuff like that, it's actually funny because, he's actually able to combat so many of them with just himself.
My number 4 would be, crap, I have it written down here, I'm so sorry guys, Sinestro. Now I actually have the Sinestro ring, the yellow ring, which is fear. He actually helped, the first Green Lantern with how to use their powers and everything, and then when the Yellow Lantern died, he picked it up and became the villain. And when I was in wrestling for high school, I would try to put fear into my opponent's heart. So I started liking Thanos a lot. So fear, it'll consume us all.
And now, I agree with that. Sinestro is a very big Green Lantern villain. He's, I would say one, if not the best Green Lantern villain.
Yeah.
We'll go with that,
For now.
For now. So I would like to go ahead and drop down to number 3 on my list, and that is Quicksilver. Now, again, that's another X-Men villain. But, I'm not huge into Marvel. I more prefer DC. But I do follow Marvel for a lot of their characters. Like he stated, we don't go for the brand, we go for the characters. And one of the characters that popped out from X-Men is definitely Quicksilver. Now, of course, you can argue that he's now a good guy, or you can argue he's a bad guy. But for this list, he's a villain. He shows that, he's amazing. He basically like the Flash of Marvel. And that's what they put up as to combat with the Flash. Like, if you look at every Marvel and DC character, there's always one to counteract the other.
Yes.
There's always a villain to counteract the hero, and a hero to counteract the villain. And they always have similar, if not the same exact type powers, which, actually put up a good fight.
Number 3? Yeah, 3. Sorry. Will be Black Adam, Shazam's villain. I don't know much about him, but when I started reading into it, because Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be playing Black Adam in a Shazam film, I liked how, he was another one that fear kind of consumed him, so it was, fear made him into a bad guy. And once again, just fear is a lot for the villains.
And yeah, it's one of their strong points, so to speak. And speaking of strong points for putting fear in other faces, so to speak, Venom. Venom is I would say probably the main Spider-Man villain, because Venom has basically been there to aid and hurt Spider-Man on several different occasions.
Black Spider-Man.
He was created, depending on which exact comic you go through, he was created basically by Spider-Man for I can't remember 100% off the top of my head. Correct me if I'm wrong, but some type of formula or bacteria that was being developed by Oscorp got onto Spider-Man somehow and started giving him like some type of like ominous
Close.
something like that.
Black Schmody comes from outer space.
That's what it
And
was.
that's how he becomes that, and Oscorp finds it, and then they take it and they put chemicals in it, and it becomes red, which is Carnage.
Right. So Venom, has always been a huge, strong part of the Spider-Man lore, the Spider-Man comic universe, so to speak. Always been, a top favorite. As you just saw, we started to list our top 5 Marvel and DC superheroes, respectively, from me and Josh from Happy Time Bros. Today's video is actually quite long. It's over 20 minutes long. So I advise you guys to go ahead and come check out part 2, which you will see, as soon as you click on the link. Part 2, day 37, right here, The Daily Life Uncut. And then you can go over to Happy Time Bros on Tuesday and see the rest of his videos, the other half of our collaboration. So we're actually going to have to refilm the other half of the collaboration because it didn't go the quite way we wanted it to. Other than that, like I said, this is The Daily Life Uncut, day 37. And let's go ahead and watch part 2.